the opportunity to play, very limited, spring schedule, but the opportunity to play guys that normally wouldn't have gotten any reps, but also to develop, some guys that were kind of those guys that have played in some college football games, but we're looking for further development. Unfortunately, we only played 3 games. Several of our guys, our starters, were out, but you still had those guys have opportunities to play in some competitive games. So, we're all healed. Our guys are back on the mend, and we've had a great sessions with our new strength coach, Kenny O'Mary. Our leadership is strong as ever. A lot of guys returning back. In fact, all of our starters are all returning back. Our staff is intact. So a lot of positive things coming out of the spring. And we look forward to the opportunities to be competitive and play in this new fall season.
Ryan and Tyler, sort of the same question for you. Obviously, it was a unique season with having to deal with all the testing and the unknown whether you're going to play. How tough was that to go through, and how excited are you guys to get going?
Absolutely. I'll jump in first, Ty, if that's all right. Thank you for your question. There's nothing easy about college football, being a college football athlete, and there's nothing easy about COVID. COVID was hard on everybody, especially hard on us. Probably the hardest part was not knowing day before a game if you would play that game. Finding out days before our last game, Richmond, getting canceled. That was probably the toughest part mentally, to prepare yourself for a game and then not know what to tell your teammates other than just come back, get back stronger. Ty?
Yeah, I mean, for me, if we had to press twice a day, every day, I would have did it. I appreciate, would have done anything to get on the field. Obviously, with the not playing, a full 6 games, obviously was tough. And like I said, Rip said, we didn't find out until like the Richmond game the day of or the day before that we were going to play. But I think all in all, we still got a lot out of it. We still had guys that had never played before that got a lot of game experience. You create this kind of situation where you're never going to see it again, where they get these 6 games that don't count towards your eligibility and you still get a full game, and they obviously counted for, real stats. So I think all in all, even though we didn't get the full 6, 3 is better than nothing.
All right. Okay, for some questions, start with John O'Connor. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Mike, how's Hollis Mathis coming along after not playing late last spring?
He's come along well, John. He's been working out with the team. I saw him throwing with our trainers, and he's a really resilient young man, and look forward to his opportunity to compete and play.
If I may follow up by asking about vaccination rates among tribe players, could you share with us where you are?
Yeah, I know there was something that just came out through the school not too long ago. You had mentioned, John, about 58%, I believe, of the student population. The student athletes, there's over 85% of their student athletes that have been vaccinated. And some of that I'll go back to the student population, is that there's a process of updating your vaccination card through a portal, which would then give you the accurate numbers. And so we expect those numbers to go up. Our players have done a great job of educating themselves, of being vaccinated. We continue to still keep seeing that rise as we get closer to camp. So we're pretty confident that our levels will be high in terms of our student athletes, and the processes and protocols in place enough to allow us to go compete.
Hey, just one clarification. When you mentioned 85% for student athletes, are you talking about football players? Or
I can say that there's only a handful of our players that for their reasons that have not, and we continue to keep educating and talk about things that the possibilities may increase those numbers as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Question from Marty O'Brien. Go ahead, Marty.
Coach, after the spring was so unstable, just talk about the summer that your team had, and then how much of a help you think it'll be to have all of the starters back and so many of them being seniors.
Yes, Marty, great question. Yeah, we had the opportunity, and the guys can talk about this. Our strength coach, Kenny O'Mary, I believe, has done a fantastic job with the guys in their overall strength and conditioning development. again, it's important. Your strength coach becomes your MVP, during all this time. The opportunities to have experience of players that we have back. I mean, our offensive line, I think is really, really good. Ryan Ripley's on this call, one of our captains. He can speak about that, but you have Andrew Trainer, Colby Sorsdale, Dan Evers. I mean, guys that have played in a lot of college football games. And so, and even on the defensive side, with a guy like Will Kiley and Nate Evans, so those guys have done a great job in terms of the group. I'm talking about our linemen. And, obviously you want to get your skill position players in line and have opportunities to compete and show what they have. And I think we have that as well. So I feel good about this team. I feel good about the talent of this team, about the depth of this team, about the seniority, about the leadership. So there's a lot of positive things, coming out of the spring into the summer and now getting ready to go into fall.
Talk about transfers into the program and which ones in particular you think might be instant impact guys.
We've taken advantage of the transfer portal rules. I mean, obviously young men that are seeking to gain, master's degrees and, grad school opportunities. We try to add to our team by adding to, depth in players that have a skill set. There's no secret that we've added 2 quarterbacks, Kevin Doyle from Arizona and Cole Northrup from Lafayette, a wide receiver from FIU, 2 defensive backs, Tate Haynes, whose dad was, played for the New England Patriots and Oakland Raiders. And then one of the guys I had with me at Howard, Ty Freeland, as another defensive back. So we were able to put some pieces together to our team, to add to our team, to provide depth, to provide playing experience, to provide opportunities, and to go along with, as I talked about, this senior leadership, this older group of guys that I think we have a really chance to be really good. And I look forward to putting everything together and gelling on the field and watching us go out there and compete.
And then finally for Tyler, if you'll just talk about what Coach just said about how many seniors you have and how that'll help. And in addition to the fact that, you're a 6-year senior, how do you like that situation?
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of depth in our 4th, 5th, and now 6th-year seniors. Most of the guys on our defense that I can speak for, have plenty of game experience, through several years. Obviously, it's no one's coming in with, bright eyes. And then talking about being a 6th year, I mean, make the running joke. I was like, I feel like, I've been here long enough, and it's almost the better half of a decade. But I'm really excited. Obviously, a lot of game experience on both sides of the ball, and I'm just here to help any which way I can. And I'm ready to get ready to go.
Thanks.
Dave Johnson, go ahead, Dave.
Hey, Mike, obviously everyone's got more experience this season than they've had before, or at least in recent years anyway. Is offensive line your strongest position right now in a way?
And that's a great question, Dave. And I've told them, the offensive line group, that they got a chance to be really good. They're a veteran group. There's an athletic group. There's some experience to them. There's some position ability where guys can play multiple positions. They're a smart, tough group. And again, you can ask Rip. I mean, I would ask Rip to chime in on that about. I mean, almost the entire offensive line was here during the summer, and it's a close group, tight-knit group of guys, and it's really been good to watch the guys up front, kind of be leaders, because quarterback having time to throw the ball, running backs having opportunities to run through holes. It all starts up front. And so, Rip, you want to speak about some of that?
Absolutely. I don't know if we're the best position group on the team. We've got a lot of great guys. A lot of talented positions. Ty Crist, one of them. But we are a super close-knit team, and a super close-knit offensive line. We go out to eat all the time, and that transitions to our work on the field. We know each other. We've known each other for a long time. And specifically, he mentioned I play with a lot of talented I will not say I'm the most talented guy on our team. I won't say I'm the most talented guy on our offensive line because I'm not. I'd be lying to you. But I play with some extremely talented guys. I'm lucky to be a part of that. And furthermore, I'm happy to be a part of a team that's extremely hardworking and it's helped building a culture. Makes my job easy to be a captain when you got 4 other guys could easily step into my role and fill in perfectly.
And
The going
Ryan,
out, hey Dave,
and-
the going out to eat all the time part of it, that's very true. They ravage through places, so it's like it's been a joy to watch. So
I'll bet. Ryan and Tyler, you guys went into the very abbreviated spring season with just, from what I understand, like about a week or maybe a little more than that of weight training. And this, of course, you've had a normal summer with a newer staff. How much more prepared do you feel now for a season or for fall practice than you did in the spring?
Right. Yeah. Going like after we finished the spring season and being able to go through a full summer of, Coach O'Mary's summer workouts, being here June and July, I mean, it's made tremendous difference. I mean, talking on the amount of guys that we had show up for June is more than I've been here for 6 years. And then it almost doubled in July. The team culture and the motto that O'Mary is going by now has really been, taken on by our team. And I'm really excited to see what we do, come training camp in the season.
Yeah, to build on that, strength and conditioning is extremely vital to building a culture for a team. There's so many ways that culture plays into how you do on the field. And if you don't have a strength and conditioning coach that aligns with what our head coach is putting out, right, you have a disconnect there that's detrimental to the team. And Coach O'Mary has immediately stepped in, aligned himself with Coach London, and we've aligned ourselves with him. It's just been extremely fun to actually lift again. I won't speak too much toward the past, but I love Coach O'Mary. I love what he's doing for our program, and I feel great going into the season.
If I could just sneak one in more quickly, Mike, Trey Watkins was another one who I guess missed all but one game last spring with an injury. How is he coming along?
Trey's coming along great. Trey's going to be one of our leaders. Obviously, he's on the leadership council. He's very talented. He's a young man that loves football, and I can't wait to see him, play healthy and go out there and show what he's capable of doing.
All right, see if we can get a couple more in. Scott Cash, go ahead.
A question for the players about the culture that we had talked about. You had talked about a little bit before. First of all, Tyler, because we deal with you so much, I kind of feel like you're the face of the organization, the program. Could you describe what makes William & Mary football special?
It's a great question. To be short with it, I think it's a community and a culture that at least the teams I've been for and that I've played for in the past, it hasn't compared to. Obviously being here for 6 years, and all the great players we've had coming in and out, we really have a team like no other. And what makes William & Mary so special is not only the players that are inside of it, the people that surround us and our community as well. I've never been welcomed more by any other place I've ever been to than the William & Mary fans and people that support us on a day-to-day basis.
Ryan?
Yeah, absolutely. The William & Mary community and whole is unlike any other. And on the football side of that, even as a recruit coming here, I could feel the family that was here, right? There's a certain type of guy that gets recruited to William & Mary. And that just builds on how the culture develops. All the guys, you can count on any of them if you need a ride at night, they'll come pick you up. One of my roommates, Bill Murray, older roommates, now with the Patriots, was the perfect example of that. If I needed to count on him for anything at any time, he would be there for me, right? And I try to do that in all of my interactions with my team, trying to create that and continue that culture throughout the program.
All right. And last question here for Sean Robertson. Go ahead, Sean.
Thanks, Rob. Mike, I got a question for you. I know last year you brought in a new offensive coordinator. You got 3 games of an opportunity to kind of see this system. What do you like about your new offensive system with the new offensive coordinator?
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Real quick about what the guys just talked about. Those are two selfless individuals that are all about servicing other people, and they're great teammates. They're no wonder they're both captains on our team. Christian Taylor brought a style of offense that that we will run the ball, we will play action pass, we will do whatever's necessary to put points on the board. Where he came from out there in San Diego, they led their conference in FCS football in points scored, in offensive yardage, total yardage. And so those are the types of things that that he's utilized in finding your best players. We've added tight ends back to this offense. Find those players, put them in positions to be productive. A young running back like Mike Emo was a player of the week during the course of the season, finding a way to get him the ball. We have other running backs that are pretty good. Same thing. Will Cole, Cole Blackman, wide receiver from Richmond area, was one of the top receivers in terms of yards per game. So finding out ways to take or get the ball in the hands of your most productive guys is something that Coach Taylor has done. And we're excited about the opportunity of having now healthy guys back on the field again. Donnie Lester, those types of guys that are back now and ready to go to add to this offense. We're really excited about the opportunities and our chance to get on the field and be competitive against the teams that we're playing this year, Sean.
Can I get one follow-up, Rob? Is that okay?
Yeah.
You mentioned Ty Freeland, another Richmond area kid that went to Howard when you were there. What will he bring to this defense this season?
Well, there's a level of toughness that he has. There's some flexibility that he'll add as well. Marcus Barnes is a guy that played safety. We also play corner, and so it gives us some flexibility. Back there. Malcolm Spencer was back as a safety, and he plays some corner as well. So it also extends into your other packages, your nickel, your dime packages, where you put multiple DBs on the field that have skill set to cover and to also play against the run. So adding Tate Hayes and Ty is going to help our defense overall. It's going to particularly help our secondary, because Bronson Yoder is back there as well. I'd be remiss not even mention him, an all-conference candidate for our special teams. But we're excited about our DBs and who's back there and the opportunities for them to help us win.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
All right. Mike, Tyler, Ryan, thanks so much for taking time with us this afternoon. Good luck with the start of camp, and look forward to seeing you this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.